This is the new Trevor Horn CD, Reimagines the 80s. This came out last week, and I thought I'd use this album as a good example to compare and contrast the packaging of CDs in the UK compared to Japan. So I think many music fans know that the Japanese love to put a lot of care and attention into their packaging, quite often into their mastering. So, is this still the case? We wonder. The CD is kind of often talked about as being on the way out and not relevant anymore. But is it a self-fulfilling prophecy? Have the record companies given up on making the CD look good, feel good, and just trying to drive people to vinyl? Let's have a look at the Trevor Horn album, and we can compare and contrast with the Japanese one. Okay, first thing to talk about is the cover. Now this is a digipack. It's a fairly straightforward digipack packaging. Now the first thing I would normally do with something like this is go, okay, the little marketing sticker there, let's just take that sticker off. But okay, what's this? We can't actually take the sticker off because it's not a sticker. It's printed on the front cover and it's become part of the cover design. So whoever spent a long time creating this artwork, whether you like that artwork or not, someone in their infinite wisdom decided it will look better with a black square on the left with Robbie Williams and Seal and whoever else's names printed on it. So that's a bit of a dubious decision for a starter, so already not particularly impressed. It is a standard digipack, so you do get the plastic backing to protect the disc. A lot of people like these because it offers a bit of protection from the disc as compared to the card wallets. And then the booklet is in here. Now, as I'm sure you haven't failed to notice, this is one of the signed editions that was available in Trevor's online store. So he hasn't signed the front, but he has signed the booklet. Now I call it a booklet. That's probably flattery because it's actually basically a piece of paper folded, and as we can see there's a picture of Trevor and various bits of small print and credits there. So Trevor's been at pains to talk to people about this project and why he undertook it and who he worked with and what the thoughts and the concepts behind the arrangements were. But he doesn't actually want to share any of that information with purchasers of the album, it seems, because there is nothing here. What you could say is if you're trying to kill off the CD, just carry on packaging them like this and it may well happen, because this isn't really offering you that much extra apart from the fact you've got the physical product. You pay a tenner for this, you think, well, what is it really giving me? A lot of people will think I may as well just stream it on Spotify or wherever. So that's the UK edition of Trevor Horn Reimagines the 80s from BMG. What I wanted to do was show you what the Japanese version looked like, and you can see what you think. Here is the Japanese edition. Now the first thing to note is this is a 2 CD set. So immediately the music fan in Japan that's buying this on CD gets significant bonus compared to the UK audience, in that all the tracks on the album are available as instrumentals on the bonus CD. So that's the first thing. The other thing is, unlike the UK edition, this is square. So if you compare and contrast, it's a subtle difference, but I quite like my album covers to be square. So actually the Japanese one is done in a kind of vinyl replica style, which is slightly ironic because there is no vinyl version of this at the moment. So being a Japanese CD, you get what they call the obi strip, which is bits of information. Inside it's got a little bit about some of the other products available. That's Trevor Horn's soundtrack to The Reflection, the animation series. Anyway, so that's the obi strip. Pull that away, and what you've got here is a gatefold sort of vinyl replica style wallet. Not really too much to look at, I don't suppose, what's in the gatefold, but it's very 80s in design. The other thing to point out, as well as the bonus disc, you also get a bonus track on this one. It's Godley and Cream's Cry, covered by Jamie Squire. In fact, that's a live track. So being Japanese, they always protect the CD. So you get a nice little protective wallet for the CD, which is good. And then their booklet's a bit better than the UK one. I mean, I wouldn't say it's massively better, but same photo. At least it is a booklet. I mean, this is all in Japanese, but at least for the Japanese buyer, there looks like there's more information. So that goes in the first slot. And then in the second slot here, it's just the bonus disc, to be honest. So this disc contains all the instrumental versions of the songs. The other thing, actually, I forgot to mention this earlier, one nice little bonus with the Japanese CD, I don't know whether this is just for the early purchases, but you do get this little postcard that comes with it, as sort of bundled with it. You might ask what you're going to do with the postcard. It's a reasonable question, but you still get it. And even the postcard comes in its own protective sleeve, just in case your postcard gets scuffed somewhere along the line. The Japanese have decided to protect it. So that tells you all you need to know. So there we have it. Maybe they're small differences, but I think they do make a difference. You can also spot, actually, in this light, you can see the Japanese version. It has a much brighter white, which creates a nicer effect, I think, and you don't get that horrible sticker. This is a nice gatefold package. It feels a little bit like it's got some quality attached to it. And of course, it's not just the packaging. On this one, you do get the bonus disc of audio, and you get the bonus track as well. So there you go. UK, Japanese. You decide. So this is Paul from Super Deluxe Edition, comparing and contrasting CD packaging in the UK and Japan.